Every thriving garden once shared a secret with the wild, a quiet partnership between plants and the small, unseen workers that kept pests in check and blooms abundant. In traditional cottage and herb gardens, before synthetic sprays ever existed, old-world gardeners relied on nature's own pest control squad: lacewings, solitary bees, hoverflies, and mud dauber wasps. These beneficial insects weren't just visitors, they were permanent residents nesting in cracks, hollow stems, and dried mud walls. Today, with gardens often too neat and sanitized, those natural shelters are gone. But with one afternoon of work, you can restore that lost balance by building a Pollinator Hotel, a simple, beautiful, and highly effective refuge that invites the most useful insects to take up residence and defend your garden naturally. The purpose of a Pollinator Hotel is to restore lost habitats and attract natural pest control. Lacewings, solitary bees, and predatory wasps are among the most valuable allies a gardener can have. Each lacewing larva devours hundreds of aphids in its short lifespan, while solitary bees quietly pollinate far more efficiently than honeybees, ensuring better fruit and seed set across herbs, vegetables, and ornamentals. The mud dauber wasp, though often overlooked, plays an irreplaceable role by hunting spiders and caterpillars that chew through tender plant leaves. In the wild, these insects would nest inside hollow plant stems, beetle holes, or sun-baked mud walls, natural structures now missing from most modern gardens. A Pollinator Hotel replaces those habitats using only found or recycled materials, creating an ideal environment that encourages year-round presence of beneficial species. It is not decoration but infrastructure, a working part of the garden's ecosystem. The foundation of a good Pollinator Hotel is variety in texture, depth, and structure. A successful hotel caters to different species' nesting preferences. Start by choosing a small wooden crate, an old drawer, or even a hollow log as your frame, roughly 12 inches deep and open on one side. This depth allows for multiple floors or compartments, each filled with different materials. The goal is to mimic the diversity of natural shelter. Hollow stems like bamboo, reed, fennel, or elderberry are really essential for solitary bees. You'll want to cut them into sections about 6 to 8 inches long, making sure the ends are clean and that one side is closed off by a natural node, or even a bit of mud. Stack these tightly in a single compartment and secure them so they won't move or rattle around. For lacewings and lady beetles, dried leaves, bark, and curled wood shavings offer perfect little crevices for laying eggs or overwintering safely. Now, mud dauber wasps, they actually prefer having access to raw mud so they can build their own chambers. So, place a small mud-filled section nearby, or just set out a shallow dish of moist soil right next to the hotel. The ratio of materials is pretty important here. Aim for about 1/3 hollow stems for bees, 1/3 coarse debris like bark and sticks for lacewings, and 1/3 fine matter such as straw, pine needles, or rolled cardboard for beetles and hoverflies. This kind of diversity really helps attract multiple beneficial species, instead of just favoring one group. Placement can honestly make or break a Pollinator Hotel's effectiveness. Old-world gardeners always face their insect shelters toward the morning sun. The warmth gets solitary bees moving earlier in the day, and lacewings and wasps also seek that warmth to stay active. Ideally, you want to mount or rest the structure facing southeast or east, somewhere between 1 and 4 feet off the ground, and make sure it's protected from heavy rain and prevailing winds. Never tuck it deep in the shade. Dampness encourages mold, which can be harmful to larvae and eggs. If you can, try to position it near flowering herbs like thyme, marjoram, lavender, or yarrow. These plants supply both nectar and pollen for the adult insects, creating a natural foraging circuit between hotel and bloom. During dry spells, keeping a shallow dish of water nearby, with stones for landing, supports hydration and mud-building activity. Within weeks, you'll start noticing tiny entrances sealed with clay or leaves, a sure sign that your guests have checked in. A neglected Pollinator Hotel can eventually become a breeding ground for pests or parasites if never cleaned. Old-world gardeners handled this by rebuilding or refreshing their insect shelters every 2 years. In modern terms, this means replacing damaged or decomposed materials each spring. Remove any moldy or compacted matter, and rotate fresh stems or bark. Do not disturb sealed holes or nests during the growing season. Wait until late winter, when residents have emerged or hatched. If your local area experiences very cold winters, store smaller hotels under cover until spring. This preserves the larvae from excess moisture and frost damage. A well-maintained structure will continuously attract new beneficials year after year, often becoming a long-term feature of the garden's health cycle. Building a pollinator hotel teaches the balance between order and wildness in gardening. Modern gardens often favor tidiness over ecology, yet every great herb grower knows that true health comes from harmony, not control. A pollinator hotel brings back the subtle balance of old-world gardening, a living reminder that pest control, pollination, and biodiversity can all be achieved without a single chemical. It also gives new life to garden waste. Hollow prunings, weathered sticks, broken pots, and leftover scrap wood all find purpose in this structure. What might have gone to the compost pile becomes a working home for the smallest, most tireless workers in your garden. Once built, the results speak for themselves. Aphid populations diminish naturally, herb flowers set heavier, more fragrant blooms, and the rhythmic hum of pollinators becomes the soundtrack of a living, self-regulating ecosystem. The old-world gardener knew that thriving plants came not from force but from partnership, a relationship built between soil, plant, and insect. Reviving that wisdom today restores both productivity and peace to any garden space. If this guide helps you see the value of building your own pollinator hotel, subscribe to Gentle Herb Living and share this video with fellow gardeners. Every garden that brings back these natural homes takes one step closer to restoring balance, beauty, and resilience the way the old masters intended.